Okay, so I'm Ashraf. I'm here in Dallas, Texas. So it's a nice warm afternoon here. So for the next 45 minutes, we are going to see this the future of debt collection, exploring the email and text strategies with Maxyfi. And I have the privilege to welcome Mr. Josh. He's the industry expert here. He has 20 years of experience in building the fintech collections and payments product, and he has vast experience in servicing the collection industry and businesses and banks as well. So it's my privilege to welcome Josh and welcome you all for this next 45 minutes of knowledge packed training session. Josh, over to you.
Thanks, Ashraf. Thanks for that introduction. Let me share my screen. Yeah, hopefully you are able to see. Okay. So
Yes, Josh, yes.
The way the session will be conducted is the first 25 to 30 minutes, I'll take you through the email and text strategies. The next 10 minutes, I'll give a quick overview of the Maxyfi product, how we handle the email and text. And the last 15 minutes, we'll keep it for the question and answers. Throughout the session, for the first 30 to 40 minutes, when the session is on, if you have any questions in mind, you can always put it in the chat. When we open the Q&A session, we'll go one by one and we'll be attending all the questions that has been asked to us. And throughout, when I go module by module, when I complete a module, to make it more interactive, I'll ask for your feedback. Yes, if you like the session, give a thumbs up or a heart or a clap, whatsoever. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's start it. So the agenda of the session is text and email for debt collection. By adopting the text and email strategies for debt collection, what we are trying to achieve is you should be able to make 2x in your revenue and get 3x response from your debtors. That is the objective we are going to meet. When we go through the start to end of the session, you'll be able to find that yes, without having a significant investment and very quickly we should be able to get more revenue and get a response from the debtors. So that's what we are going to see. Before we get into the email and text, let's see what is happening currently. Most of the collection agencies, I have worked with collection agencies across Australia, Middle East, and the Americas. Okay, call is predominant. Call is what we do. We do manual calls. There's a predictive dialers. There's robocalls. Predominant minute kind of calls we do, and sometimes we send letters. But the collection is not efficient always, for a reason that when we call a debtor, the debtor is always not comfortable taking a call. We telling him saying that, hey, you need to owe the money. Sometimes the tone is not correct. They don't feel calls coming repeated. They feel embarrassed. So what happens is they disconnect the call. And when we reach out to a person via a call, when he need to make a payment, we tell him, okay, can you courier the check by some details, or we ask for some sensitive information like card information, bank information to be given over a call, or we will ask them to visit a website, put some of their personal identifier information into it, authenticate, and then do it, which people are not always comfortable to it. Limited response window. When we do a call, when we are talking to a customer, the conversation goes like this. Hey, can you pay by this week, or can you pay in the next 10 days? We are asking the people to confirm it's a promise, or we are asking them for a payment plan. Over a call, in the limited time of 30 minutes to 30 seconds to 1 hour, they will not be able to confirm properly. What it ends up is it goes as a broken promise or the payment plan which is not fulfilled. So it will not be effective. The next thing is the inconsistent follow-ups, because it is going to be a call-based reminder we are going to send, and always the success factor is very less. We will not be able to give the right time alert to them. And when we give a call to a person, let's say we got a file, when we give a call to a person, the person always has a question. Are they legitimate? Are they trying to spam me? Who is this collection agency? What is this debt details? Because most of the time the debt is 6 months or 1 year old. They have a question about the legitimate. So they'll ask you to share more details. Rather, if it's going to be via a text or email, which has a portal link, which has some details, it will help them validate quickly. Yeah. So these are the challenges which are currently there with calls. So calls are good for some amount of collection, but yes, there are other aspects which can be done purely by email and text. Yeah. So if you agree with me, if you feel that yeah, you have gone through this, this is some of the kind of feedback you are hearing from your collection agents, yeah, give me a thumbs up. Moving on with the next business case, why we should use text and email. As per a Forbes study, 90% plus debtors prefer email for the communication because they don't want to get into a call to have an awkward or a confrontational call conversation where they're happy looking at this, validating the text, and then responding through that. The debt validation happens better via SMS and email because when you send SMS and email, you would have given some sufficient information, plus it will carry the portal link, which will further validate the debt. So the debtors are always happy when they get a written communication to them through an email or SMS, which is a proof rather than over a call. Convenience and accessibility, when you send it via a message, what is going to happen is the person will have the quick response option, an option through which they can go, they can view the debts, they can make a payment. It will give them a lot of options, even the responses will be better. Again, as per the industry study, when you contact a person via message, 99% it gets getting opened, and 90% of the texts are opened within 30 minutes of delivery. So if you're trying to reach a debtor, we will be able to reach the debtor and they'll be able to see the message in 30 minutes. And 200% more response rates and payment rates when compared to the traditional calls. This is again as per an industry study. And the millennials and Gen Z, they prefer the SMS as the preferred mode of communication. Yeah. With having said that, the text and emails are so popular, but why collection agencies are still not able to fully utilize it? There are challenges. So when we go through the challenges, there are compliance, there are various regulations, there are various certification bodies. On top of that, there are carriers. They will block various attempts to send a message. To name some, only in the America market, in the other territories, we have more. So there are like CAN spam, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, TCPA, FCC. If you are doing for medical, there's a HIPAA. For California and several states, there are different regulations. And again, carriers have this ATP10 DLC, which started from this year. But if you go through all these regulations, there is one thing that they're saying it in common. And what are they? If we adhere to this, there's a better chance we get an approval. That is, we should have got a consumer opt-in. Either we should have got a direct opt-in or we should have got it through the client confirming that yes, the opt-in is received for you to send a message, and we should confirm by sending to the client as debtor that yeah, we are sending you a message as a registered verified number. When a person says stop, unsubscribe, or he gives you a reply that he wants to stop, you need to do an opt-out. You should not message a person outside the messaging window. You should not message at a time which is not comfortable, like weekends and public holidays. You cannot message him too many. Like in a month, there's a country regulation. Country by country, it varies. You need to do maximum 8 messages. I think US it's 7 messages. It varies, and we need to adhere to it. And when we send a message, the message should clearly identify the debt collection agency, the number of the debt collection agency, the link through which they can verify the debts, the client details. The messaging tone has to be polite and it cannot be harassing. And we should not be using any public URL shortness at all. Because what typically happens is when we want to give a customer portal URL, if the URL is big, we will be using Bitly and various URL shortness. And these URL shortness are typically used by people who want to spam. So typically these carriers will block the message, they filter the message doesn't get delivered. So it's better if you want to have a shortened URL, it should be from your domain or a known or a very valid domain. Public domain URL shortness are not allowed. If you are facing this challenges getting through the SMS and text approval, or you are facing it or already faced it, or you are going through this challenge and you find this information useful, yeah, just give me a thumbs up. Moving forward, when we want to design a good text and email strategy, what is our objective? Whether we want to notify the debtor, yes, we have this debt we want to collect from you. We just want to give it as a information only to him, or we want the person to take an action by receiving the message. There's a difference. You can send just a information only to him as a message. Yes, you are going to get this message and we are verified to contact you for this debt, or we can send a message which will have a link which will guide them to go and resolve it on their own. So yes, it's more about whether you want to do an information to him or you want to do an action to a debtor. Whether you are going to give the debtor complicated steps for him to resolve, or you are going to give him a step which is convenient for him to resolve the debts. Finally, whether you are looking like a spam in front of the debtor, or you're looking like a legitimate source who is there to help them getting out of the debt. If you see these options, naturally the one that's going to give you the better results for the text and email is always an action-oriented SMS, which is convenient to use and always looks legitimate in front of the debtors. Yep. Moving forward, the second system considerations, when you want to implement a text and email strategy, what's going to happen is you should be doing it in a system which should be centralized. So when I say that, let's take a case. You have a system, let's say you have a legacy system, you have implemented a SMS module separately, you have implemented an email module separately. What's going to happen is when you send a SMS, the person responds to an SMS or takes an action out of the SMS, and the information has not passed to your legacy system, which means through the legacy system, a person can still go and can go take an action with an outdated information. It can create a lot of work, and that is not going to be a best experience for your user. Second is the system should support two-way, because there's a lot of complaints regulations which I just explained around. So if a person's reply stop, or if a person replies some other message, no, I'm not the person you're trying to contact, it's a wrong number, you need to mark invalid. There's various things need to be done. We cannot let the replies be unanswered. So the system that you're going to use to do text and email should support two-way communication. It should contain a digital customer portal. When I say digital customer portal, when you send a message, that message should carry the URL. That URL should help them go and resolve it on their own. If that option is not available, your message to the customer will still be an information message. Information message doesn't yield much results. We should do a customer-oriented operation, and this is very, very key. When I say customer-oriented operations, let's say you have a debtor, he has around 10 debts. We cannot afford to send 10 different messages to him, because he has 10 different debts. It should be consolidated to that person, and we should do one single message through which he knows what he owes, and he can see the full details, and you can have a better conversation and resolve it. Plus, the customer-oriented and human-centric, where when a person gives you a promise, the regular SMS workflow should stop, the promise workflow should start, or a payment plan workflow should start. It should happen in a nice way. Finally, when you are doing this SMS and texting sequence, it should happen in a way that you should be able to go and monitor how effective it is. And at times, let's review this workflow. Let's create a new workflow. Let's do the A/B testing. Yes, this works out better. You should be able to keep optimizing, because we are not saying that what we are giving you is the best. It can be the best. You need to keep improvising. Yeah. If you agree to the system considerations, yes, give a thumbs up. Moving on to the next. Debtor behavioral aspects. So it's very important to understand which kind of debtors we can cure by SMS and email. Not all kind of debtors we can use SMS and email as a strategy to recover. It's not going to work. It's going to work only for a certain kind of debtors, and we are going to see that. There's a certain kind of debtors who are absent-minded. They have the intention to pay, but they are not paying. Yes, we can fully recover them through the digital only follow-ups. There is a true low-risk customer, and again, they have the ability to pay, but the willingness is missing. So here, again, you can recover them through majorly the digital follow-ups. Then there's a medium touch. They have a bit of an intention issue. They want to prolong. This, you need to use digital plus the call follow-up method. Using these two a combination, you should be able to effectively recover them. Then there's a true high touch. You need to do a lot of calls and legal letters and to some amount of emails. Finally, unable to cure. These are the customers you need to take for a legal or a settlement only. This is not going to work with a digital kind of a settlement. If you see these 5 kind of different behavioral aspects, the impact of text and email is going to be high on the first 3. It's going to be a bit of a supportive for the 4th, and it's going to be least on the 5. So these are the 3 categories where the text and email is going to work better for you. Yeah. Moving forward, the debt collection flow. We all what I'm going to explain now, these are the flows we typically even currently also do with the existing your software. So, and we are going to explain that, and then we are going to correlate it to the how it works in Maxyfi. Yeah. When we get a debt, when we load the debt, when a agent picks up the debt and makes a call to the customer, or when he tries to communicate with the customer, the first thing that he'll try to do is inform about the debt, and he asks him for a payment. So our initial approaches itself will be like, we try to get the payment out of the customer. When he is not ready to make a payment, the next option that we'll be using is, we'll ask him to confirm a date by which he can make a payment. That's the most prominent one. In every business, account receivable, banks, debt collection, promise to pay by when you can make a payment. This is something which is predominantly be used. Yeah, when we ask for a promise, either he gives a promise or he doesn't give a promise. It moves on to the next step where we ask him saying that, yeah, you owe me some $6,000. Do you want to pay fortnightly $2,000 or monthly $2,000, a small interest? Do you want to give him a payment plan? You want to agree that, yeah, we know that you are having a situation where we can give you a payment plan. Do you want to resolve your debts to the payment plan? So that is something that we offer. Even let's say if he is not ready to clear the debts through that, the next option that we will be doing is, we'll be giving a payment plan with offers, where we'll say, or settlement, where we'll say, okay, fine, let's settle for some 70%, or with this payment plan, let's do a 10% discount if you can make an instant payment. We'll give him various offers and engage him saying that, yeah, can you make a payment? Even if this doesn't work out, the last option that goes is, the debts which are bigger by value, a legal route is taken. Debts which are smaller by value, a call is taken whether we should do one more round of automation using any other method, or let's mark it as closed. We are not going to do any more actions. So this is the typical flow that's going to happen. It is a flow that happens via calls. This is a flow that we can use it for anywhere. If you see in this flow, the SMS and emails, it can play a bigger role in the first 4 actions: quick payment, promise to pay, payment plan with offers. Yeah. Moving forward, we are going to now discuss a strategy. That strategy is going to be based on what we covered in the past until the last slide. Yeah. I'm going to take a scenario where we have a file received from a client. We have a debt to be collected. When we loaded the file, the first thing that we'll be doing is, we'll be sending the notice of appointment. So yeah, the day 0, we are pushing a notice of appointment. The message that we are pushing, I just want to take a minute and explain it here. As per the various regulations and compliance, there's some standards to be followed. We should clearly call the customer by first name and last name. We should say who we are, the collection agency name, who is the client, what is the number through which they can give us a call back, what is the link through which they can access. In case if they want to opt out, what is the option? Yeah, the rates may apply if they reply back to us. These are the standards that we need to follow. If we don't follow, yeah, the carriers may block us. Once we send this message, we have seen the debtors click this URL and they go and access the application. And we have seen debtors who are absent-minded and those kind of categories, they click pay now and they go and make a payment. If you see this option in the portal, currently you see only the callback and there's a pay now option. Only these 2 options are available where people can go and quickly make a payment and resolve. If they're absent-minded, mostly this case, they will be resolved. If let's say it is not, it moves on to the next step where we send a reminder for payment. And again, in each and every message, we need to keep the protocol on what content we need to send. And with that, when we send this, the customer gets it. When the customer goes to the portal, yes, there's an option for a callback and again pay now because we are still insisting for a payment. The third message, we are requesting for a promise. The promise message has gone. Alan Thomas, need time to pay your dues with HKD Biometrics. You can do via call or through the portal. So when the customer goes to the portal at this stage should automatically include an option that will help him to give a promise. And this should happen seamlessly. So as the record moves into this flow, the messaging as well as the portal should be in sync. If you see here, yes, he can click the promise option and he can select the amount and the date he's going to give a promise. And an intelligent system should stop the flow here and should pick the customer from here, should send him a confirmation message that his promise is being accepted. It should send a reminder one day before the promise. And the day of the promise or the next day of the promise, it should validate whether the payment is in place, give him a thank you message if he kept the promise. If it's a partial or broken, send a different message, restart the workflow. That is something that we should be doing. Okay. But as you can see here, the system has automatically adjusted, the flow is automatically adjusted with a option to include a promise. The fourth sequence, request callback, system is giving the option to give a callback. The fifth option, we are asking him to give a payment plan. As the message is gone saying that, yeah, we understand life can be unpredictable. Do you want to set up a payment plan? You can visit the portal or you can call us. And when they visit the portal, the option has automatically changed. It is not the promise now, it is a payment plan. And when the debtor is going to click on that link, what's going to happen is he will see the various payment plans which we have, the system has arrived it automatically. So it is like whether he want to give a single payment or he want to give a 2 fortnightly or 4 weekly options, very quick to select options because it's not possible for him to create a payment plan. So he can choose it, he can choose a start date, he can submit the payment plan. Let's say he has not given a successful payment plan. The last resort is going to be, you will be giving him an offer. Like there's a special offer for you. There are discounts if you choose a payment plan. When the person visits it and he clicks on the payment plan, system will show the option, yes, if you make a single payment, you get this much discount. So what's going to happen is there are collection agencies, they have a margin. So they know how much they're going to get. Rather than not collecting it, yeah, let's collect it by giving him a 10% discount. So you need to work out something you can work out on your own, or you can work out along with the client. You can arrive at a discount percentage and you can throw out these discounts to the debtors through the system, and it will push the users to use this option, a limited time option, to choose it, and they can go and make a payment. So throughout this messaging structure, so I just showed you for text, the email goes the same way. As the message goes from one step to another to one step to another, you can see that the link which is embedded in the portal is taking the customer in a seamless way across one to another by enabling the payment, by enabling the promise, by enabling the payment plan. Next time with offers, system will do it where there is no manual intervention needed and it will all happen seamless. Yeah. So that's the best texting strategy we have seen. It's working for a lot of clients. So that's what we want to present. I want to give a quick recap of what we discussed so far. A best text and email strategy has to be customer centric, which means the system you use should group the customer and should do consolidated messaging, should not do message per debt, it should do per debtor. The workflow should be smart enough to send messages at correct tones for quick payment promise and the various messages. The messaging, it should be a clear message, action-oriented message. It should have the customer portal link. The customer portal should be intelligent enough to adjust as per the message that it's going. And it should capture intelligent insights. When I say intelligent insights, for some of the customers, when some of the debtors, when they click the customer portal, when they go and make a payment, the payment is failing, or he's going to the payment screen, but it's not initiating the payment. These insights, we should gain it. What's going to happen is these insights, when it hits back to our debt collection system, we should use these insights. We can give a call to the customer because it tells us that he has the willingness to pay. He's going to the screen. He's going to the payment screen multiple times, but he's not making a payment. So there should be a real-time alert that should come back to the dialers. So the callers should call them, should speak to them because their willingness to pay, and that's the right time to make a call to them and to convert that. Human-centric, when I say human-centric, the workflow should not be blind. Let's say when I started a workflow, yeah, it is a 60 days workflow, but on the second message itself, the debtor has given a promise, but I still keep sending him the other messages. No, it will irritate him. If a person is giving a promise, you need to break the workflow. You need to take the promise route. If it fails, you need to restart the workflow. So the system should be flexible and you should be still simple to configure. So it should be human-centric and smart. It should be optimize. When I say optimize, as I said, the system should allow you to measure the success from various text and email strategies, and you should be able to optimize, iterate, measure. You should be able to continuously do it. Finally, but it's the most important one, you need to adhere to the complaints. You need to be careful with the opt-ins, opt-outs. When a customer does a replies, we are not replying to the message. Those things can haunt us. So we should be very careful with the compliance and the opt-ins, opt-outs, and concerns. Okay, that's the main agenda of the webinar. So next, I will take you through the I'll take you through a quick product walkthrough. But before I do a quick product walkthrough of how text and email can be done using our product, I'll just showcase it. I will just give a quick intro about Maxyfi. I'm just doing a quick time check. Yeah. So Maxyfi is a debt collection platform which is used by businesses as well as debt collection agencies. You can get any format files from the client and you can load it seamlessly into Maxyfi. Maxyfi has a communication workflow, consent, various engines which are available, which will work in unison, and it will push the various kind of communication. And these communication are always action-oriented communication, which means it will carry the link, it will help the user to go and resolve things. And the customer portal anyway, I'll be showcasing it in the next. Plus the application allows to create legal letters, track legals, capture notes, document management system. It has a lot of operational reports and dashboards. If time permits, maybe I'll show you some of the dashboards. Plus there's a detailed client billing option available. Yeah, once I show the text and email options in the product, if time permits, maybe I'll show you the invoicing module. Plus there is a client portal. So it's a end-to-end package of application. It contains everything. It's one application consolidated with call, SMS. So it's a consolidated application. So the USPs of Maxyfi is it's simple to implement and use. Some of the customers got implemented in just 2 weeks time. It supports, it's pre-built, integrated with major communication methods, and it's a two-way communication. It supports all payment options. You can load any batch file as I told. It supports 160 plus currencies. You can white label the customer portal, and this is important for SMS and email. When you send a short link, if it's in your branding, it's more chances that it doesn't get tagged as spam and delivered. So even the URL white labeling can be done in your domain. Human-centric, yes, there's a document management system, there's a complete consent and tracking, opt-in and opt-out. There's an intuitive customer portal, and there's an automated client billing. So over to the demo. Just give me a minute. Let me share my screen, and I will run through the text and email options. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully you're able to see. Okay. So I'm going to take you through the SMS option. I'm going to take SMS as the base. Even emails are pretty much similar. If you want any help around emails, you can always reach out to us. So I'm going to show you this 60-day SMS recovery flow, which is easily configured in Maxyfi. If you see, when you get a file, when you assign a workflow, the first thing that we'll be doing is we'll be sending a notice of appointment on the day one. And this is the messaging structure that it's going to go. It's going to go for the primary contact via SMS, and it's an automatic message. you can design the flow. It's just a sample flow. On the day 3, we are going to send a reminder for payment. Then it's going to be for a reminder for a promise. Basis the message, the portal link, what we have mentioned here, it will auto adjust. Then we are going to do a callback related message. Then we are going to send a message, couple of messages for asking him to make a payment plan. Finally, we are going to give him the offers. Yes, if you can make payments within details, you will get an offer. So what I'll be doing is I'll be showing you one set of customers, how it works out. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully you are able to see my screen. Sorry, my screen is visible.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So if you see here, all these 6 customers are assigned the same workflow, but they are in the different stages. So if you see the first customer, we have assigned the notice of appointment. Okay. If I go over the portal link will give me the options to pay now and a callback. I don't get any other option. So initially the customer is pushed to make a payment. Yes, we support various payment methods like Stripe, Repay. We support various payment methods for US and for other markets. Yes, there are different payment methods which are available. Okay, so users can go and make a payment or they can request a callback. That's all we want them to do in the initial messaging. As it goes, we want them to give a promise. So if you see here, this customer, he has reached the stage of promise. The first 2 messages gone. He has reached the stage of promise. We are sending a promise message. At this stage, when the message goes, when the person visits the portal, you can see that the usual pay now option is there. Additionally, now we have enabled the option of promise. So the debtor can use this and he can go and give a promise instantly. As we move along, the customer at this stage is giving we are going to send him the request payment plan. When the person gets this message and when he goes to the portal, the application will automatically bring the payment plans. So all that he need to do is he need to choose the payment plan that he fits and he submits. It's going to be very easy. So he need not choose frequency, what amount, and various complicated stuffs. He can see what it's comfortable. He can click. Still, if you want to create a payment plan on his own, even that option is available. The customer who is going to the last stage, which is the request payment plan offer, what's going to happen is when the person visits this portal, he gets a message that there's an offer, and even when he clicks it, system will give him the discount. And when he submits it, system captures it as a settlement with that much percentage discount and will start following him up. And yes, if he keeps up the promise, the debt is considered as closed. So as you see, it's the same workflow, but when it goes through the various stages for a debtor, it auto adjusts and it interacts on its own. Even when a person gives a promise, it takes to a different route. As part of the walkthrough, I said that we should be continuously be monitoring the success from these workflows. So there is an option here within our application that is called customer interaction analysis. What this option does is I can choose a timeline. System will tell me all the options the customer has responded, whether it's through portal visit or a portal payment or he has given the various responses. I'm just choosing the payment option. I can go and see which workflows has contributed to the maximum recovery. So if I have a couple of SMS and email workflows, I can do A/B testing and I can see, okay, this workflow is giving me better results. Within that workflow, this template is giving me better results. So I can continuously keep monitoring and I can see which are the messages which is not giving us any better portal visits or outcome. I can choose the various options and I can play around. And I can keep optimizing it and I can keep making the system better. Yeah. So that is what we wanted to show. As I told, we have a lot of dashboards which are available. So I just take a couple of minutes to show a couple of dashboards. Okay. We have a revenue dashboard which gives the information of over a period of time for the complete option or for a very specific client. how much we are able to collect and how much commission we are able to make from it, and which users have contributed to it, and from which all clients we are getting how many. So it's quite an interactive dashboard. You have a business dashboard. The business dashboard is typically used by the clients. They can see how much they have submitted, what is outstanding collected, what is the aging summary, how much payment they have collected, and through the staff step analysis, month on month, how much money they have given and in which all buckets it is available. And there is a business dashboard. Yeah. Plus the system has a billing option, revenue and billing option. I will share another screen to just showcase the power of the billing option. Yeah. Okay. So we have a revenue and billing option. So each month when you want to generate a bill, you need not go through a tedious job. I know there are several kind of bills. You might be charging them a fixed fee. You might be charging them a commission amount. You might be charging them charges for any legal case that you are trying to take. When you get the payment, you need to pay back. There are various options that goes through. So when you want to generate a bill each month, it's quite simple. You can either automate it, or you can choose the customer and you can say you want to generate a bill. System will create you the summary, plus the system will create you the detailed bill that is needed. And once you hit save, you have a nice PDF that is generated with the summary of all the bills. This is for a net payment method, which will contain all the debts and the details of the previous brought forward a very nice way, which will simplify most of the people's, the effort they spent over the month end, slogging over the weekends, creating a bill and reconciliation. The system will do it automatically for you. Yeah. So these are the two things which I wanted to showcase extra, which is not in our agenda. I think that's for the demo agenda.